Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello! Happy New Year from Quick Shot Reviews for Cheap Shot Entertainment. Just been to the cinema. It is Friday the 13th, so how else could you celebrate than going to watch a horror movie? I'm saying that in inverted commas because you won't be able to see the inverted commas. Oh, what can I say about this film? Well, we're going to get into that in the main part of the video, but I've just been to see a film called M3GAN, where a robotics engineer designs the perfect toy, lifelike toy, like Barbie, that can learn and play and sing and all that kind of stuff. Basically, it's a very intelligent, artificial intelligence toy. I think it's supposed to be a satire of how technology is taking over our lives. But, and there's a big but, which I will get into the main part of the video. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it before we get there. Anyway, M3GAN. Yeah, join us for the main part of the video. So, like I said in the introduction, M3GAN is about a lifelike toy that learns from the owner, from the primary owner, where the robotics engineer builds this, what is seen as a perfect toy, which is due to be rolled out into what would seem like millions of homes, but they're going to charge £10,000 for it. So, immediately you get a sense that this ain't as scary as the corporate greed that probably went into making this film. So, we've got official description. When Gemma suddenly becomes the caretaker of her orphaned 8-year-old niece, Katie, I thought that was Katie all the way through, but it is Katie. Gemma's unsure, unprepared to be a parent. Gemma is unsure and unprepared to be a parent. Under intense pressure at work, Gemma decides to pair her M3GAN, that's an M3GAN, prototype with Katie in an attempt to resolve both problems, a decision that will have unimaginable consequences. Now, I thought this was going to be about a killer robot, and to some extent that is true, but for the first act, and there's usually 3 for the first act, pretty much nothing happens. You get to see some really satirical adverts, which I thought were absolutely brilliant, and these satirical toys of these interactive toys where basically their buttocks light up and they shit and all that kind of stuff, excuse my French. And it's funny. But then we get the ultra-realistic M3GAN, which is in itself a scary thought, you know, this artificial human being that could take over. But, and there's a big but, because there's only one of them, the peril is very limited in terms of a killer doll. When you think about Toy Story, think about Child's Play. There is only one killer doll, but it's in a run of thousands. So it could be any one of those killer dolls that was, the killer was transferred to. This is pure artificial intelligence that turns evil. It's programmed to protect Katie at all costs. And that leads to the inevitable. We are talking about a perceived horror movie here. So, yeah, that's the first bit. And, yeah, it kind of, if it can, it goes downhill. There are some cool bits in here. One guy thought it was really funny all the way through and kept going, all the way through. Possibly the worst cinema audience I've seen or been part of ever. And it just doesn't work. It's a boring film. I'm just going to say it is boring. I wanted to go into this film, and I did go into this film with high hopes, and that's probably why I'm disappointed here. Because the some of the imagery, especially where she's like crab walking and all that kind of stuff, which I understand they got like a gymnast to do all that kind of stuff, which made it real, it made it look awesome. But there wasn't enough of that, and there was too much like drama, dare I say. There was too much drama in this one, and wondering how things are going to happen and why things are going to happen and all that kind of stuff. And it was by the books, and it automatically gets a lesser score for me for one particular scene. And I'm sure if you go and see this film, you'll know which scene that is for me, and probably for a lot of other people as well, because it's something that should never happen in films. Director Jared Johnson is responsible for Housebound. Not much else actually, apart from a handful of stuff that I've never even heard of. So I'm not even gonna read those out. And the cast, for the most part, does what it's directed to do, and it's a shame because I feel like there is some good performances in here that could be really, really good, but sadly it's just not a good film. It's not good at all. It's not solid, it's not anything. It's really weird. It's meta in a stupidly awful way, and it could have been so much more. It could have been intelligent. Dare I say a horror movie could be intelligent? And they could have really played on the 2023 thing of everyone relying on technology. And certainly the main character did, who is played by Alison Williams, and that is Gemma, the character that she plays, the inventor. Violet McGraw plays Katie. Again, for a child actor, does a decent job. Ronnie Ching plays David, and Amy Donald plays Megan. Like I say, this is a thing, you see, that's played by an actual person with a mask on. And I like that. I really like that. It could have gone the opposite way, and they could have had just could have made it on a computer and acted in front of a green screen, but they didn't. They chose actual actors to portray the doll. I like that. That is probably the only thing I'm going to say that's good about this. and they had a couple of actors playing M3GAN. Amy Donald playing M3GAN, Jenna Davis playing M3GAN as well. So you get the point, you know, that is the main character. And yeah, there's not a lot else that that I can say about this, other than it's, from my point of view, pretty darn awful as a film in general. However, I will say this, as I always say, it is Friday the 13th, so I'm going to go and watch Friday the 13th now and actually watch a good movie. And I will say, you know, the cinema was packed. It was the most obnoxious cinema audience I've been a part of for a long time, which I don't like. However, it's nice to see the cinemas packed. And if you want to go and see M3GAN, go and watch M3GAN. Make your own mind up. These are my ramblings. This is what the podcast is for. It's for me to get my thoughts out on tape and share them with the world. And that is what I do. And if you appreciate them, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're listening on the podcast, we update it every single week with a new film, and there will be some more content coming to the podcast very soon as well regarding wrestling. So quite a mix in terms of that. So definitely going to get some nice guests on, some reasonably famous guests, I would say, in the UK wrestling scene as well. But this is about movies, and I've just seen M3GAN. Possibly, I'm going to say this, I've seen 2 films this year since the turn of the year, and we may have a candidate for the worst film of the year already, and we're 2 weeks in. Go 2023. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching and or listening. Keep watching films, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.